What up? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. The light. The light. The light. All right, here's another excerpt of why I left Atlanta. Now, I didn't have this problem when I went down to Atlanta. I didn't run into this problem, but I would have been pretty close to getting to. Well, let me say this. I wasn't homeless when I lived in Atlanta, but when I lost my job, you know what I'm saying? When I lost my two jobs that I had, I was working for a temporary service, things got bad real quick. So I made a phone call and I was like, yo, come get me. So I called a young lady I knew and who actually brought me down to Atlanta. I called her up and I said, it's not working, come get me. She rented a U-Haul, jumped in it, drove all the way down. Drove all the way down. She drove all the way down, rented a U-Haul. We packed it up. And then, I stayed with her, 8 hours the other direction until I got on my feet because that household was getting a little too crazy for me. But nonetheless, I got on my feet and then I was on my own. So I had stayed. But I want to say that there are some other things that have been going on in Atlanta. And there's some new development with the homeless. So I was part of the working. I was, I guess, working poor. I wasn't struggling. Like I could feed myself and everything. My jobs brought in enough money to where, I was okay. And then, like I said, there were two temporary jobs, but they paid good, you know what I'm saying? So I worked a lot of hours. So I brought in enough money where I was okay. I didn't have any luxuries. I didn't have a car or anything. I didn't need one. But I was able to afford what I wanted, which was, I didn't even have any furniture down there because I didn't stay long. But I was able, like I said, able to afford what I wanted. I ate good. And when I say good, I mean I wasn't hungry. Wasn't starving or anything like that. My refrigerator wasn't like jam-packed, but nonetheless, when I was hungry, I was able to go in and feed myself. I went to the movies a lot. When I lived with my sisters, I went to the movies a lot. And then once I moved, I didn't go to the movies as much, but I would just get on my bike, jump on the bus, and just travel. So, but nonetheless, the homeless people is a real, it's a real issue in Atlanta. It's a real issue everywhere. But now the government is doing all kind of weird things to make it seem like they just don't give a damn about the homeless, as in stopping people from feeding the homeless. Now, where I live at now, I've always worked with the homeless in one shape, form, or fashion. And a lot of times I'll donate stuff. And sometimes I used to just work with them directly. And, I had a job where I had to hire 5 people and hold a sign in order to shut down stores. This wasn't in Atlanta. This is where I live now. So I've been working with the homeless and, just doing different stuff with them, mainly because I feel for them. At one time I was homeless, living wherever I could. So, yeah. Things got pretty bad, and so I've always looked at myself as one of them. Of course, I'm in a, place now, but I've almost lost this apartment here. So I feel for them, you know what I mean? Even though, some of those guys are homeless because they want to, but some of those guys just are unfortunate. One thing after another happened. So I feel bad for a lot of them. So what Atlanta is doing is pretty much... Okay, let's listen to some of this. This is on World Star Hip Hop, and I'm just going to go through some of it, but this is happening right here in Atlanta, so let's give it a listen.
They don't have a food permit. They cannot feed here at Hurt Park. They have been feeding here at Hurt Park for years. No problem. The police officer said it's against the law to come out here and feed. It's always been against the law.
And I figured I'd slice a pizza. There wouldn't be no trash.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people like that.
I got coats. It's gonna
Yeah,
get cold.
we just doing our job, sir. I promise you.
So, I mean, what happens if I give out food?
Can't do it, sir.
So, if somebody was giving out food here for free without a permit, what would you do to them?
We would do it. I asked them to leave, and they would cooperate.
And what if they insisted on serving
That hasn't
food?
happened.
What would you do? You're saying that it's illegal, right?
It's illegal, yeah.
Do you feel justified threatening people who try to give free food to the
I
poor?
actually don't have to answer anything you wanted to ask.
I do have a license for my home because I do have a licensed bakery. So I am licensed to. We do drove like an hour. I don't
So
think
you
it's
can't get
fair,
stuff
but I don't.
These people are coming out here saying, here, we have the resources to feed people. People that the city's not even feeding. People that the federal government is not even feeding. Some people don't even get fruits and vegetables like they need. They get it elsewhere from some kind of organization, a church, a non-profit. So now the city is coming in and saying, we're going to stop that. I think they want to corporatize the city of Atlanta. I think really that's what they're trying to do. Get all of these people to start paying more to the city. Let's build up this city. And we're forgetting about the people that need. They need housing. They need food. They need clothes. They need shelter. And you come out here early in the morning on Saturday and Sunday, bullying people and harassing people, telling them you got to leave because you need some kind of food permit.
I cannot allow you all to sell food.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there now. There were some people who were able to feed here, and what they did was these particular people. I'm sorry. I yawned. Did you just yawn? Because it's contagious. But these particular people came down and they set up, and the police saw them. And what they did was they told them they couldn't feed there, and they set up and started feeding anyway. They said, well, we have a letter from the ACLU. So the police didn't want that noise. They did not want that. Listen, Atlanta, there are a lot of poor people in Atlanta. And my experience there is, my experience once I lost my jobs was that it's going down real fast. Like the ship is sinking right now. It was no it was no delay, and I was going down fast. I was going to end up on the street really, really, really fast, and I needed help very quickly. And I wasted no time. As soon as I lost my jobs, my last couple of checks came, and I was trying to figure out how to get out of there. And this is one of the problems I found out in Atlanta, where there is not a lot of jobs that will sustain your living. You have to work, 2 or 3 jobs to get by, and that's just the facts, Jack. You got to work your tail off down there. And somebody said that you need to have a profession, or Atlanta is not for poor people. And it's just like, who are you to say what Atlanta is for? It doesn't have a big sign saying only people who make $50,000 or more can live in Atlanta. It's just not like that. There are poor people everywhere. Even in Hollywood, you'll find there are poor people. There's always somebody feeding on the underbelly of society some kind of way, either willingly or non-willing. But nonetheless, now corporate America is trying to disenfranchise these people even more. And when I was in Atlanta years ago, you had already saw this type of atmosphere happening. You already saw it. You already saw how the police were pretty much non-negotiable, not unless you had some type of legal stance with them. It's not really a place that, and I'm not saying the police aren't nice, because I dealt with some police and, they were tolerant until they weren't. I was never thrown in jail there, but nonetheless, I was in an incident, and they didn't come by and gun me down and all this. And they just pretty much said, look, this is what's going to happen. And I was like, okay, that's fair, and they were very fair with me. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to these larger cities like Atlanta, it's very corporate now. And when they're saying that you have to have a permit, they know most people aren't going to go and get a permit. They're not going to go down to the city to get a permit just to hand somebody a sandwich. They're not going to spend all of that money just to say, okay, I can legally hand this person a sandwich. Not to mention, also in here, they closed down the homeless shelter. So you have a problem where the rent is going up, but the cost of living, the wages is not going up enough to be able to sustain. So you have your rent going up, and a lot of people who are right there at the cusp, just like what happened here. My rent went up $100. Everybody I know, except for like 4 people, have left my apartment complex. That's a lot of people. It was a mass exodus just because the rent went up $100. They're like, we can no longer afford to live here, or we no longer want to live here. And this is what's happened. And when you have that, some people can't afford to live there. I'm on a fixed income. I have to go out with a hurt back. I'm on SSDI. My back hurting. I have to go out here and hustle some type of way. I am worn out. I'm like 50 years old. I'm worn out. My back is killing me because I have spinosis and arthritis, so I'm in pain every day. But I'm out here pushing around old refrigerators and stuff and reselling them, and people are buying them. And I'm hungry, so I have to do it. I'm getting washers and dryers and delivering to these people, and stoves and whatnot, and I'm doing the delivering, but I have to do it. You know what I mean? So I want to live here. I need the extra $200-300 a month. I saw an opportunity. I went for it. So I'm just letting you guys know it's like my experience in Atlanta, and some of the stuff that's going on now, I saw back then, and I was in that atmosphere, not directly, but I was so close to being one of these people who went from feeding, the homeless to actually being the one who was going to need fed. And this is not a place that you want to get stuck in. This is not a place that you want to be and you don't have no family. This is not the atmosphere for that, where it's not. Especially when they're closing down shelters. Like, that's almost inhumane to me. So I just wanted to talk some more about Atlanta. I don't think it's all bad there, but there are a lot of people who are migrating there, and I tell them once again, don't go by yourself. It's dangerous. I went down there, trying to support my daughter. It just didn't work out. Don't go down there trying to be a superstar. Keep your dreams in mind and all that, but don't let them fall flat on your face, because they will. People will crush your dreams down there. They're all for them. And have yourself a decent income and a good support system, because your income may fall apart one day. You could go down there with $20,000-30,000. Next thing you know, something happens, you need a lawyer. There goes all your money. And it's just like that. There goes all your money. Your car got towed. You're in jail for 6 months. The lawyer needs $20,000, and your apartment is gone. Everything you have is gone. You have no more money, and your job is lost. I'm serious. Things happen just like that. So, God loves you guys, but it's just some of my experience. I'm out.